guys, and welcome to my channel. I am very excited for today's video. We're gonna be creating a simple calculator using Python today. In the previous video, we created a simple USD to INR converter, and today we're gonna be creating a simple calculator. Let's get started, guys. I'm the crazy coder and you're watching into the fascinating Python part 2. So I'm gonna be using Spyder IDE. You can use any other one, but I would actually recommend it. If you haven't seen the first part, then please do. It would be really helpful for you. Let's get started. So over here I have readied the preview. So it's like you'll enter first integer, then the second one, and then you'll tell what do you want to do. Supposing I want to add, and then it's giving me the answer as 24. If I want to subtract, the same, that's 12, and B to subtract is giving the answer as 0, which is correct. Over here let's write 12, and we want to multiply 12 by 12. The answer would be 144. So let's multiply them, and we got 144. Okay, so now let's enter our first more integers, and over here let's divide them. The answer should be 1. So let's press D to divide, and the answer is 1.0. The reason 0.0 is coming at the end is because when we'll use uneven numbers for division, then the answer would come in decimal. So supposing we're using 190 to divide, so then the answer is coming this big, as you can see. Okay, 1.11111111111112. So it's very big decimal, and that's why 1.0 is coming. Let's try and use the modulo remainder to get the remainder, and the remainder is going to be 0. We know that. So let's write E to write 0. Over here I'm going to be using smaller numbers because I'm going to be telling you what exponentiational operator is a little later. Exponentiation operator. So if we rerun it, we're going to be using smaller numbers. Let's rerun the module. First of all, let's end the whole module and then rerun it. Over here I'm going to be writing 2 and then 2. So it's basically 2 into 2 when we use the exponentiation operator. So we got 4. I'm going to be telling you about the exponentiation operator when we get to it, when we are writing the code and we get to it, guys. If you actually want to learn about exponentiation operator, then guys you can skip to that part. The timestamp is in the description, and there is a section for the exponentiation operator. So let's get started. I'm gonna be creating a new file. You just go to file and new file, and then you can create the new file, and then let's save it. So I'm gonna be saving it as 2D5OC 2D5OC. Okay, .py. Over here let's write the hello world program. Hello world. So this is the easiest code that you can write using Python that would result in something. So like over here it's resulting in writing hello world inside the IPython shell. As you can see, it printed out hello world. So guys, simple. Let's start writing our code. So we're gonna be first of all welcoming our user. So let's write hello user, welcome to 2-digit 5 operator calculator. Hello user. This is the actually full form of my the whole code, the whole module that we're creating. 2D5OC, that means 2-digit 5 operator calculator. So let's welcome them, and we're gonna be again writing, first of all let's name what it is. It's the welcoming. So let's write welcoming. Yep. Let's over here write remember to turn the caps lock on. Okay, simple like that. Remember to turn the caps lock on. Then let's start by writing the intent. The intent. So the name is gonna be the intent. Over here we're gonna be entering our integers. So like over here num1 is equals to an int. That's a class that would tell that whatever we're writing inside it would be a number, not a string or anything else. And we're gonna be writing input, enter your first integer. And let's write that. Okay, now one thing that would strike into your mind would be, wait a second, let's write this whole again. Input, enter your second integer. Okay, so one thing that would strike in your mind would be that over here we made it write a integer which is int, but when we write something inside the string then it's not a number. So how there is not a invalid syntax, how it is not an invalid syntax? It's because guys, when we're putting this input inside the int class, then we are telling the computer that whatever we write inside the input, whatever the user would write inside the input would be an integer, not what over here the string would not be an integer. Okay, but whatever the user would write would be an integer. Simple. I think you understand it, the intent. So now let's write hashtag. This is like a comment. It tells the computer to basically ignore whatever we're writing inside it. So if we write print whatevs, then it would actually not print it. Okay, so basically nothing would happen. Over here it's gonna be the menu. Okay, let's write print, press A for addition, and again let's print, press A, oh sorry, B for subtraction, print, press C for multiplication, print, press D for division, then print, wait a second, then print, press E for the modulo remainder. Modulo is another name for the operator that we're gonna be using, and I'm gonna be telling you about that. Okay, so basically modulo just gets out the remainder. It's like if we want to find out, if we supposing write 12 modulo operator and 3, so basically it would just divide 12 by 3 and get the remainder at the end of the division, which would be 0. So basically nothing is in that, but exponentiation operator is more than that. That's why I'm giving a separate section for it. So press E for modulo or remainder, and the next or the last would be press F for what? For exponentiation. Exponentiation. Okay, so now let's talk about exponentiation. So basically what happens in exponentiation, I'm gonna clear the console. We just want to write percentage and clear, and everything would be cleared. Over here I'm gonna supposing write 2 exponentiated by 3. What would it give? It would give 8. How did I calculate it? How 8 came out? It's simple. It's like 2. So basically to understand it easily, you just want to write this number, the number of times the number of times at the right number. So write the left number, the number of times the right number. So over here I'm writing it 3 times, and then put a multiplication sign in between them, and the answer is coming 8. So I think you understood it with this easy example of exponentiation. Let's get started with the variables. the Vars. Okay, so over here we're gonna be using a couple of variables. This is because we are writing, supposing like print supposing your sum is equals to this. So the problem in Python is that you actually cannot print a string with a number. Okay, so you have to create that number, a string, and then you can write them together somehow. So that's why we're making these variables. So let's write num, or let's write ans sum. Ans sum is gonna be equal to num1, that yeah, the variable, plus num2 variable. Okay, and then the ans diff is gonna be num1 subtracted by num2, and ans pro, that means the product, is gonna be num1 multiplied by num2. Okay, the ans quotient is gonna be num1 divided by num2. The ans rem, the ans rem is gonna be equal to num1 modulo num2, and then over here we're going to be writing ans exp num1 exponentiated by num2. Okay, so I think now, yeah, we have to make them strings. So str, and they have to be inside this str, so that they can be a string and we can compile them with other strings that we're going to be creating. Okay, or else it just wouldn't work. Okay, you can try that. If you'll not make these strings, then it would give a syntax error. It would throw up an error that you can't compile integers with strings. So that would be the end of it. Let's make them strings. Str is short form for strings, and we have them as strings. Okay, so now let's create ifs aka ops. Okay, so we're gonna be creating if statements and we're gonna be making operators. So that's a funny way to say it. What is actually an if statement? If statement does something when a certain condition is met. Supposing if op equal a, then what would you do? Write semicolon and then write over here. So it only if op is equals to the same string, then it would work, or else it wouldn't work. Beforehand, guys, over here let's create op equal to an input. Okay, so now over here let's write if op equal a, then what would you do? Then you would just print out the sum is equals to plus the ans, we want the sum. Okay, let's write if op equal b, print, sorry, wait a second, yep, okay, the difference is equals to plus ans diff. Okay, now let's write if op equal c, then you want to print out the product equal plus ans, sorry, not diff, plus ans pro. Okay, now one thing that I wanted to tell you guys, I'm gonna be discussing it after the if statements, but I think that is important to discuss with you all. Okay, so if op equal d, then print out the quotient is equals to what? Is equals to the variable that we created, ans quo. That means the answer of the quotient. So op equal, when op equal d, if that's the case, then you want to print out, oh wait, not d, e. Really sorry for that inconvenience. Print the remainder equal to, remainder is equals to plus ans, wait a second, ans is the rem. Then if of equal f, print the exponentiated value is equals to what? That value is equals to plus and exp. Okay, so now let's talk about what I was talking about. It's the EA Vars. Okay, so over here the EA Vars is equality and assignment wars. So basically guys, you would be getting confused that over here we're writing 2 is equals to signs, and over here we're writing 1 is equals to sign. Obviously if you have seen my JavaScript series, then you would have no doubt, but who haven't and are here for the first time, I'm gonna discuss this with you all. Is basically is equal to, so this is equals to sign is actually equal to assignment. So we use it to assign a value to a variable like we did above, as you can see in this, and sum equal to str num1 plus num2 over here is equals to, we use just 1, that's clear, it's used for assignment, and 2 is equals to are equal to r for equality, to check equality. So like over here we used op 2 is equals to c. So if we don't use 2 is equals to, then the computer would think, what, the person writing the code is assigning a value to the operator op variable inside an if statements, and that's not possible. So it would just throw up a syntax error. So guys, this is the whole code we wrote. Let's save the whole code, run it, and see what's everything like. So let's enter our first integer, second integer, name op isn't defined. Oh, now this is the problem over here. Op equal input. It's not, we just have to put 1 is equals to. Let's save it and run it again. 12, 12. Okay, let's add them. The answer would be, the sum is equals to 24 working. 12, 12, when we'll subtract it, then the difference is equals to 0. Very good. Let's multiply them, the answer should be 144. 144, so let's write multiplication, division, we're multiplying, so the product is equals to 144. Let's write 12 to divide them by 12, divided by 12, the answer should be 1. So let's write d for division, and the quotient is equals to 1.2, and I think I have explained why 1.2 is coming instead of just 1. Okay, let's write over here 12 again. Oh wait a second, 12 again, and when we'll add the remainder, then the answer should be 0, because I think I've made myself pretty clear about why it should be 0. And I think you are, because obviously you know that the remainder would be 0 in the division of 12 and 12. Let's use the module. It's gonna be very big. No, it's not gonna be big. It's gonna be, oh my god, we have to make it small. It's like 12 into 12 into 12 into 12, and this is repeating 12 times, so it's big. Okay, let's make it small. Let's make it 10 and 5. So It's 10 into 10 into 10, so it should be 500. Okay, 10,000. Then also it's very big. It's like 10 into 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. So it's big. Let's use a little smaller one. It's gonna be very, very difficult to do it inside a calculator too. So let's write 12 and 3. So 12 into 12, okay, 2. So it's like 12 into 12, which is 144. So let's write F, and the exponentiated value is 144. Thank God. Did you remember when we wrote 12 and 12? It was so big. So big. Oh God. I was like surprised big this much. It would be in a billion or in a trillion when we talk about place value. So guys, congratulations. You have a simple calculator by just some lines of code. Okay, if we take this out, this out, this out, this out, and this out, so 1 2 3 4 5, and basically we have 34, and 34 minus 5 is equals to 29. So you have a simple calculator in just 29 lines of code, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye and sayonara. I'm actually looking forward to get some replies on your recommended integrated development environment for Python. I'll see you guys in the next promised part of this series, the text adventure game. Until then, bye bye.